A young man by the name of Dexter Reed was gunned down in Chicago in the Humboldt section of town. I don't know what that is. I've been to Chicago once. At any rate, there's video content out there. There's a lot of body cam footage has been released, and it's been stitched together, and I was able to see the actual footage. So I covered this before because this young man who's 26 died in a hail of bullets. When I say a hail of bullets, I mean a hail of bullets. We're talking 5 officers let off almost 100 rounds in under 40 seconds. And one guy. One guy. Dexter Reed. Now they say that Dexter Reed fired on the cops. They say that Dexter Reed fired the first shot and the cops are just protecting themselves. I beg to differ. I beg to differ. As I was doing research on this story, folks, I damn near lost it. First of all, I'm not upset with the white supremacists. I mean, I am, but I'm not upset with them because it doesn't matter how a black person's killed, they always find a way to justify it. Other than Philando Castile, for some reason, he's the only black person I've ever heard them say, maybe we shouldn't have killed him. That's the only one. All the rest of the blacks have always been justified in their eyes, their deaths. Their deaths have always been justified. What bothers me about Dexter Reed's story is that I have a number of black people. And this is the problem with social media. Anybody can talk. And that's the good thing about social media, that anybody can talk. And the bad thing about social media is anybody can talk. And here we go with Dexter Reed. We got people that do no research, people that take no time, who can't logically deduce a crime scene or what's happening, have no historical context, don't really understand the ramifications of what they're saying, but say it anyway, because here come the views. Here come the views. Here come the views. And they think just because their knee-jerk reaction is to side with law enforcement, that that's the way to go. Now, you need to rethink. Whenever you're going to side with law enforcement on anything, you need to think long and hard about what the hell you are doing. Dexter Reed was driving in his car, his truck. He has tinted windows. Out of nowhere, police cars and unmarked vehicles. They're police cars, we know that now, but at the time no one knew because it was unmarked vehicles. A tactical unit from the Chicago Police Department cut him off the road. Hitting his car, you see a humongous dent in the driver's side of his fucking door. Huge dent in the door. You wonder where that came from? They ran into him, knocking him off the road. They jump out of their vehicles with guns in their hands. I gotta imagine Dexter is a little shaken. He's scared for his life. But I guess that's okay, because in about 40 seconds, he will no longer have a life. They scared him of his life, and then they took his life. They say they pulled over Dexter Reed because he didn't have on his seatbelt. Folks, if you got tinted windows, how can they see you didn't have on your seatbelt, for number one? So that's obvious a lie. It's obvious that they stopped him illegally. That matters. It matters why they stop you. You can't just stop people unreasonably. You can't stop people and then make up shit why you stopped them. That's not how this works. Obviously, this was a tactical unit, not a ticketing unit of plainclothes officers, dum-dums. These are tactical units that are going after drugs. That's what it's for. That particular area is a highly trafficked area for guns, narcotics, and things of that nature. It's an over-policed area of Chicago, which most of where black people live in Chicago is over-policed. Most of the people living in that area are traumatized to hell for getting pulled over so much. I digress. They pulled him over. They forced him, not even pulled him over, because that would have taken a siren. They didn't hit sirens, dum-dum. They knocked him off the road, then jumped out with guns. Now, if you had a gun What would you do? What would you do if people that are in plain clothes with guns pointed at you in Chicago jump out of a vehicle after running you off the road? What would you think is about to happen? Now, let's imagine first before you answer, let's pretend that you got a pair. Let's pretend you ain't a punk ass. Let's pretend you ain't going out like that. Let's pretend you're willing to fight instead of just being shot to death by random ops. For those of you unaware, ops are people that are in opposition to you, people that don't like you, people that want you dead, people that are gunning for you, people that made it known they're not your friend and they will shoot you. That's what an op is. People that are after you, opposed to you. Hence the word op. So let's assume maybe Dexter Reed, who's 26 years old, has some friends that way. Has some those type of friends. Maybe he's been in and out of jail a couple of times. Maybe where he lives at, it's almost inevitable. If you won't get up out of there, bad things can happen. You become part of a bad circle, do some bad things. You may live to regret. Hopefully, you live long enough to do some redoing and some reframing of your life. But what those officers did, the reason why we even having this conversation is because they thought they were getting someone else. And of course, once you pull over this guy by running into his vehicle, scare the shit out of him with guns drawn at a guy for nothing, absolutely nothing. People want to say the reason why he shot, and you know what? I question why this young man would want to die. He sees multiple guns pointed at him. Do you really believe? He said, well, I'm going to shoot one officer in the arm, and then I'm going to get shot 100 times. But I'm going to take somebody with me. What happened to Dexter Reed sounds a lot like what happened to Breonna Taylor. The only difference is they did it in his car. They didn't even have a warrant. They just knocked this guy's car off the road, jumped out on him with guns, scared the shit out of him. Then when he retaliated, they executed him. Not only did they shoot at him 100 times, not all 100 shots took place with him, even in the vehicle. For some, I don't know how many, he was shot 13 times. A few of those happened while he was in the car based on where the bullets were. But he got out the car, obviously with nothing in his hands, and they continued to shoot him. Then when he fell to the ground, obviously with nothing in his hands, they continued to shoot him some more. And I got people, and I'm not talking, and I got black people, I'm going to say it. I got black people on Twitter and TikTok and YouTube going, why can't we, y'all want to make everything George Floyd. He deserved what he got. He shot a cop. First of all, that cop was not dressed as a cop. That cop did not identify himself as a cop. And second of all, how do I even know he shot the cop? There were so many cops there, they could have accidentally shot the cop. I've seen cops, I've read stories of cops being shot by other cops, and those cops thinking it was ops, or if it was civilians, or bad guys shooting them, and they start shooting when they ain't got shot by anybody except another cop. I even did a story where a cop started shooting because he heard an acorn hit his car, and he thought the acorn was a gunshot coming from some building. It was just a fucking acorn. So you haven't even waited for forensics or ballistics to come back to prove that the gun that was in the car, he did have a gun in his car, to prove that that gun is a gun that ricocheted off the wrist of one officer. So let me get this right. One officer gets shot in the wrist, and that warrants 99 or 95 other bullets for the next 40 seconds, even to an unarmed person laying out on the street. And you co-sign that, and you say nobody should have a problem with that. I got a problem with you. I got a problem with you having an internet connection. I have a problem with you having a microphone and a voice. I have a problem with you kissing up to white supremacy, you dumb goofy. Some people are too doofus to even have a platform. Now I know we gotta be down for freedom of speech, and I've already put out a couple videos about this. Man, freedom of speech ain't all it's cranked up to be. If everybody get it, and most of them don't know how to use it. They're not using it for anybody except themselves. They say just like if you can't rap or sing or dance, now they want to do news commentary. All of a sudden, everybody wanted to teach you how to get laid on the internet. Everybody wanted to talk to you about who's start naming chicks, or would you sleep with her, not sleep with her, this person's this person. Now everybody wants to be news commentary. Everybody wants to do news. If you can't beatbox, now you got to do news commentary. They didn't work for a newspaper. They don't even know who went when, where, why, and how, why. They don't even know the four W's, 5 W's. They don't know anything. They don't care about any circumstantial evidence, either circumstantial or physical, provable facts, anything. No reasonable doubt. They don't even know how the law works, nor do they give a fuck. They just jump online and line up behind whoever has the most voices that they can get the most views. That's the side they go on. We got morons like the Cartier family, the LFR family, and all these other losing fake conservative blacks. They look and say, hey, there's not a lot of black people in the conservative lane. Maybe if I go over there and be a Mexican like the Hodge twins, a Mexican, I can make me some money. Be damned. I know I'm not funny or interesting, but if I Mexican it up, throw blacks under the bus, I can make somebody like the Hodge twins. Or I can pretend to be like Cartier, just young and bright-eyed and stupid. Or I can pull an Emmanuel Elcho, and just kiss ass and say, I'm one of the good ones. What's wrong with us? Why can't do better? And just side with everything stupid, illogical, and dehumanizing that's said by the conservatives. They don't really like you, you know that, but I know you don't give a shit. But for the record, they don't like you, they despise you. They wish you no goodwill. They give you this money, and they can't wait for you to get enough of it so they can take it back from your punk ass. You like a tool. And when they're done, they break their tools and throw them away. And the next one will be you. And it was just like Candace. They used her, and then they broke their tool and got to say still. For the record, until ballistics come back, I won't believe shit that's said from cops about who shot first. Okay? Second of all, that should not be the first point. But since people keep saying, he shot at the cops, cops say they're cops. Cops wear uniforms, cops got sirens. Cops don't run into your car to run you off the road for a seatbelt, dummy. That's not what cops do. That's against every protocol in the cop handbook, dum-dum. So they weren't operating as cops because they're a tactical unit and they got the wrong guy. Then they scared the shit out of him, and he did what people that aren't used to getting pulled over by tactical units do. He lost his fucking mind. And he died that day. Now I don't care. And I got people that have their heads so far up Trump supporters' ass, trying to get this Trump money, man. That's what they try to do. I seen them, man. I seen y'all, man. Y'all despicable. Trump want stop and frisk to come back to get your ass. Maybe not you. Maybe you're doing okay. But your cousins that live in a not so safe area, he wants stop and frisk. You support that? Is it worth that for the tax break for your boss? It's not for you because you broke as fuck. So the tax break Trump is going to give the company you work for, your CEO is going to get, that he's not going to pass down to you, because really, why would he? Why would he? That's really worth you selling out everybody? I'm just putting these things out here because it seems like all you're focused on is how much money you can make off the Trump wave. What I'm trying to tell you is you need to pump your brakes and do some soul searching. Anytime a cop says a brother or sister opened fire on a bunch of cops, I got to question it. And it may be true, but then I go to my second thing, and that is this. Why did you pull him over in the first place? Dog, that brother Kenneth Walker who shot the cops in Brianna's apartment, he got off. Why did he get off? Because the cops, first of all, they had a no-knock warrant, and they say they didn't even announce that they were cops. Then they killed Breonna Taylor. He sued and he won his civil case. Why? Because that's not how policing should be done. What's the difference between what they did here? Because you don't like Dexter Reed Someone convinced you that Dexter Reed is such a bad guy because he may have had a record? What the fuck that got to do with that day? The cops broke their own rules. Cops got rules just like you do. Why come cops never have to follow their own rules? You can't pull people over randomly for no reason, then make some reason up after it goes bad. Say, oh yeah, that's why we did it. And then the reason don't even make sense. And everybody act like it didn't happen. No, it happened. The only reason why Dexter Reed is dead is because he got pulled over. And he was only pulled over because they effed up. But there are people dumping on this guy's mother as if his mother can't love him. As if his mother doesn't have a right to say, why'd you have to shoot my son so many times? Some of y'all going to hell. And I don't mean the hell that you hear about in the books. You'll go to an all-white hell where you could get lynched repeatedly every day. That's where you need to go. Real talk, man. Some of you are horrible. No grace. I have never heard you have that type of animosity towards white moms. White moms cry about their kids. Asian moms cry about their kids. Black mom can't cry about her son. Who cares if he did time before? Who cares if he's been in trouble before? How much trouble could a 26-year-old be in? The human brain didn't even finish forming until you're 25, dummy. And that's probably why you guys give such shitty commentary, because you're like 25 and under. So your brain didn't even finish forming yet. Your rationality hasn't even set in yet. How dare you disrespect this mom for saying, why'd you have to keep shooting my son like that? He was already dead, and you just kept shooting him. She's going to have to live with that. Her other kids have to live with that. They all have to live with that image of watching their brother or son bouncing up off the pavement with no gun in his hand. It's 5 officers standing around him with guns shooting at him. Because one officer allegedly got nicked in the wrist on a bad stop that they initiated. He didn't run into them. He didn't rob a bank and then shoot a teller. His crime, according to them, and that's even if you believe him, and I don't. How the fuck will we even know he had a seatbelt off or on? We'll never know, will we? But see, that's what happens when you don't take time to do any research. When you just rush to get on your little TikTok or get on your YouTube channel and dump on black because it's easy. There's no pushback. Nothing happens to them. In fact, they get rewarded by white folks who can give a shit. That when they come for you, when you get your wake-up call, there'll be no one there for you. And they'll laugh at your ass. They'll say, we got them now. Give us more black people that you're going to throw under the bus. And you'll do it because you're garbage. My condolences to the family of Dexter Reed. This ain't about him being a saint. This is about him being a human being. This is about the cops breaking their own damn rules. And this is about a bogus police stop that went wrong, bad, because what? Because the cops effed it up. That's what happened. That's what should be taken from this. That, why'd he react this way? These same people talk all the time about how dangerous Chicago is. But they don't understand how a person who gets their car run into by unmarked vehicles and people jump out with guns might react a different way. They don't understand that. They start repeating stupid ass Archie Bunker talking points. And look, and to the credit of those that corrected me, a lot of times they all in the family is racist or is bigoted or whatever phobia that Archie Bunker has. At the end of the show, he was always proven wrong. And all right, Edith. All right. I guess I'm wrong. You guys are proven wrong, and you don't have the benefit of that, of accepting it when you're proven wrong. Anyway, that's it. We just gotta do a better job, man. I just wish that people, if you got nothing, if you don't know anything, if you don't care to do this job well, just stop doing it. Go do something else. Do movie reviews. Yeah, do movie reviews. There's got to be movies coming out. There's money to be made in that. You don't have to cover black content. You don't have to cover stories about people being shot by cops. You don't have to cover it. You can cover the Drake shit. What's up with Rick Ross? Cover that. Stop covering shit that matters. All right. Now I'm going to go to the comment section. For those who appreciate this content, I hope that you become a member of this show. We don't have cut cards here. Cuff cards don't exist. We call it like we see it, and we have no problems hurting feelings. But we do it for a good cause. It's for a good cause. You need to learn, goddammit. This is how that one-state solution goes. Valley the Content Boutique is in the house. Valley, what's up, sister? How you doing? It's been a minute. I get the co-sign of Seduction Doll. Facts. You feeling me? Facts that feeling says, hey, it's irredeemable country. It's founded on slavery. Continue with Jim Crow. You know this. And now it's mass incarceration. My people, they know what time it is. Lynn Heidi. Tim showing humanity. Exactly. Uprising. Americans never loved black people. Doc Rivers told it right. There it is. Doc did get that right. Those two folks who broke out of jail, shot a cop, stole a car, and were taken alive in Idaho. Martin Tramiel. These are inconvenient facts. These are inconvenient facts.